In this episode, I'm going to teach you how to optimize content for large language models, AEO. SEO companies are finally catching on. It's content that matters most, but they're actually still stuck in the old mindset. They're still focused on your website. So in the age of large language models and amazing AI tools like ChatGPT, this mindset that they have is not only outdated, but it's drastically slowing them down. In this episode, I'll show you what's actually working to get your content recommended on these AI platforms. You'll see why YouTube is way more powerful than your homepage on your website. You'll learn how AEO isn't just an evolution from SEO, but you'll learn how they're drastically different. I'm not going to go into my full leaf strategy here, but if you're really serious about getting results on AI platforms, then this video is going to get you pointed in the right direction. So let's talk about this SEO awakening that has been happening over the past year or two. Recently, I went to a big SEO conference where there's all the biggest SEO companies, the ones that have been around the longest, that have the best reputation and track record. And it was interesting to see how frantic they all were and how quick they were to jump the Google ship and focus on ChatGPT. Now, there are a lot of AI platforms, but ChatGPT is by far and away the biggest. But the Google website is actually still bigger than YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or ChatGPT. So Google is still the biggest, but there's multiple ways that people use Google. ChatGPT, it's obviously 100% an AI tool. So we're going to talk about both of those. Now, these SEO companies, they've realized that content is critical, but they are building everything that they do around their website and the content that you put on your website. And that limitation is actually slowing them down. So the website-centered model is actually broken for AEO. Now that stands for Answer Engine Optimization. These AI platforms are not interested in finding a website or sending somebody to your home page or to your product page or to your About Us page. They are only interested in sending people an answer. So if you do have a blog post that provides an answer to somebody's very specific question, that can work. And that's one good piece of the puzzle. But did you know that YouTube is actually recommended more than blog posts? Let me give you an example of how even some of the best AI tools out there, meaning for business owners that want to track their progress on AEO, what their language is that you need to track your brand and if your brand is being recommended on these AI engines. And so how do they track that? Well, you enter your domain name. So they're tracking how many times is your website recommended. But guess what? These AI tools, they're recommending a lot more than just websites. In fact, websites are recommended as a very, very small percentage. We'll use ChatGPT as an example. So sometimes ChatGPT will recommend the name of a person, or will recommend an article that that person wrote, or a video that that person answered that question in. And if we take a step back and we think, okay, if we need to focus on content, where can we post content that it will be indexed? And unfortunately, social media just doesn't work at all. Like if you post a video or an article on Facebook, it's not indexed by topic. You can't search and find any articles by topic. Same with LinkedIn, same with Instagram, same with X. So that's why YouTube is such a valuable tool, is because when you put a video on YouTube, you could leave the description blank, you can leave the keyword tag blank, just have a proper title, and YouTube will transcribe every single word that you say in that video so it knows what your video is about, it's indexed, and it's searchable by topic. Google uses that same index. So your YouTube video is now indexed on YouTube and Google, and it's indexed as answers. And so all these answer engines, such as ChatGPT, will reference your YouTube video or will reference a blog post built around a YouTube video. So this new age that's kind of replaced SEO that we're calling AEO, and by the way, you're going to hear a term GEO, that stands for Generative Engine Optimization. That's different. GEO and AEO are new and are modern, they're AI based. Generative is like creating beautiful art or writing poetry or helping you create something, but AEO is actually finding answers that the AI didn't make up. So like if you're looking for advice on a hiking trail and wanting to know if it matches the type of trails you like to hike on, you do not want GEO because the computer has never hiked the trail. You need an answer from a real person, and the answer engine will search of all the people that have hiked that trail and given advice on it, and will serve those up to you. And you can see which person you agree with, which one matches your hiking style. And even though these AI tools have only been around a short time, people are really differentiating between, okay, now I want the AI to be creative and generate something, but I don't want the AI's opinion. I want a real answer. I want an answer from somebody who knows. I want an expert. All right, let's talk about websites for a minute, and let's talk about the evolution of Google. So if we rewind back to 2015 and prior, Google was a website search engine. When you did a search, you would find a list of different websites, and you could have your home page or your speaker page or something like that ranking at the top of Google. But what changed back in 2015? Google started transitioning to becoming a content search engine, not a website search engine. When you do a search on Google today, you'll find the AI overview, you'll find ads, you'll find YouTube videos, and if you keep scrolling down, you will find some blog posts. Now, of course, you could do a search like I'm looking for such and such a website, and so Google will try and find that website for you. It still works, but when people ask questions or try and solve their problems, or for the majority of the searches out there, people are looking for content, and that's what Google provides. So the most efficient way to do this is you've got to dig and find the questions that your dream clients are asking. So when you know what your dream clients are asking, you make YouTube videos that provide exact answers to those questions. Those videos will then rank at the top of YouTube, no problem. Then what I recommend doing is taking the transcript of that YouTube video, have ChatGPT turn it into a blog post. So then on your website, post a blog and embed the YouTube video at the top with that article down below. Now you've got the video on YouTube and you've got a really effective blog. And guess what Google will do? Google will put your YouTube video at the top and will put your blog there, and you'll now be referenced by ChatGPT. The type of content that AI platforms love the most is very, very specific answers. So if you're a productivity expert and you want to make a video on how to improve productivity, you're never going to get referenced. Even if you hire Steven Spielberg to help you produce this video, you hire Harrison Ford to act in the video with you. Maybe if you put some advertising budget behind it, you might be able to get that video in a theater. But guess what? That video is never going to be served up by these AI tools because it's not specific enough. But if you do some digging, and I've done some digging, I found really specific questions. I found how to improve productivity in a dental office, or how to increase productivity on a construction site. When you can find really specific questions like that, that becomes your title. You make a video about how to increase productivity on a construction site, you put that video on YouTube, you put that on your blog. Then when these construction teams are searching online, they'll find the exact video that matches their search. And even though it's a smaller audience, you're actually going to generate new clients from this type of content. So my goal for this episode is to help you recognize the important role that content has today. And now if you see that, you're ready for the next step. You're ready to learn the LEAF strategy. I show you how to pick the right content, how to create it, how to follow the 5 steps to make sure your content will rank at the top of YouTube, Google, and ChatGPT. It'll be a good idea to put that blog on your website, but you don't have to worry about any type of website SEO. If your business has a starting amount of momentum, and you're really ready to launch and to start scaling this thing, I highly recommend the LEAF strategy. So it's a webinar. I do one per week. It's live. Go to theleafstrategy.com. I'll see you there.